Hello friends, today we are going to learn Pteridophyta. So normally the term Pteridophyta, normally this Pterido means fern and phyta means plant. So these are normally fern plants, or we can call them as the appearance looks like the feather like appearance. So we do call them as fern plants or Pteridophyta, and it was given by the scientist called as Haeckel. And the study of pteridophyte is called as pteridology, and it is called as the reptiles of the plant kingdom. It is called as the reptiles of the plant kingdom because it is the first land plant. It is the first it is the first land plant. So we do call them as reptiles of the plant kingdom. Basically, as we know, the first point, what it is, that normally they are the vascular plant cryptograms. Means these are the plants where the vascular bundles are present. The vascular bundle present, and the vascular bundle in Pteridophyta is called as stele. It is always called as stele. And the vascular bundle means they do have the conducting part, that is they have the xylem part and they have the phloem parts. And it has been found that the vessels normally in the vascular bundles of Pteridophyta we don't find two basic parts. That is, one is called as the xylem vessels. We don't find xylem vessels, and we don't find what that is called as companion cells of phloem. These two things are absent in Pteridophyta, but it has been found in the species of Pteridium, in Selagilena and in Marsilia. They do contain false vessels, means inactive vessels are present. These false vessels, we do call them, they are present, but they are normally what? They are normally inactive. They are normally what? Inactive parts. Got it? Now it has been found that the false vessels and tracheids are present normally in higher pteridophytes. Now move on to the types of vascular bundle. What kind of vascular bundle is found? They are found concentric vascular bundles are found. Means the vascular bundle where xylem and phloem are present in circular form called as concentric. They are found amphicribals presence, mesarch present, conditions and closed. Closed means they do have no this. What do you mean by the closed type of vascular bundles? This closed type of vascular bundles means that is no cambium. If cambium present, we do call them open type. And mesarch means we do find in the middle we find the protoxylem present, and outside we do find the metaxylem present. So accordingly it has been called as the vascular bundles in the Pteridophyta is of concentric rings, amphicribal nature. Exceptionally, it has been found that in isoetes, in iso this question is coming NEET. In isoetes, we do find secondary growth is present. That is, secondary growth is present. That is, in isoetes, the secondary growth is found. So secondary growth present means they must be having. So cambium is found to be present. That is cambium found in this isoetes. Now next move on. The vascular tissue is present and they have roots, and the roots present is normally of adventitious root, not tap root. The root present normally is of adventitious root, but it is not of tap root. Okay. Then it has been found that they are not completely successful terrestrial plant because they need water, because at the time of fertilization they need water. So they are sometimes regarded as they are not true, so they are sometimes called as amphibians of the plant kingdom. They are also called as amphibians in the plant kingdom. And normally the Pteridophyta root is completely differentiated into stem, root and leaves. That means the dominant phase is of sporophyte. The sporophyte is its dominant phase, and the sporophyte is normally they do photosynthesis. So normally sporophyte is independent. It is independent of gametophyte. Means it doesn't depends on gametophyte for its preparation of food. So the primary, that is the root, is adventitious root, and it has been found in some, the stem is underground. The stem is underground. So this underground nature is called as the rhizome. If the stem is underground, we do call them as rhizome. Normally, in Pteridophyta, the classification is based on the nature of leaves, because the leaves is normally feathery like appearance. So first, which we know that the first classification deals in which the stem is smaller. The stem is found to be small, whereas the leaves are found to be large. So we do call them as what? Macrophylous leaves. And the examples are Pteridium, Pteris, and Marsilia. And the second group that is found in higher Pteridophyta, that is, in this, the stems are larger, whereas the leaves are smaller, and we do call them as microphylous. And the examples are Equisetum, Lycopodium, and Salacinella. The differentiation body part of bryophytes, note that normally it is some related to body parts is sometimes related to the bryophytes. Now friends, move to the life cycles. Normally Pteridophyta is a sporophyte plant, that is the diploid plant which is dominant, already I have discussed here. And mostly the Pteridophyta are of homosporous, means only one type of spores are found during reproduction. Only one type of spores are found. And the examples are Lycopodium, Pteris, Equisetum, and Rhyopteris. It has been found that heterosporous seed habitat is very important, is asked in your NEET exam. There is two types of spores present. One is small spore present, microspore, and another one is megaspore. So this megaspore, microspore, this normally microspore will relate with what? That is called as what? In future we'll find pollen grains, and this megaspore will relate to, that is called as ovule. So this megaspore and ovule, and in future they will produce seed. So the seed habitat first starts from Selagilena, Isoetes, Marsilia, Salvinia, Ajola, and Stylets. So normally formation of spore takes place normally as it is sporangia, and sporangia is formed in the abaxial surface of the leaves. Means sporangia is found on the abaxial, means it is found on the lower surface of the leaves. And normally if this is the leaf present, suppose this is the leaf, and in the leaf we find the sporangia are present. So the sporangia present on the leaf is called as sporophylls. The sporangia present on the leaves is called as sporophylls, and group of sporangia present are called as sori. What are the sori or soros means? It means what? A group of what? That is called as sporangia. So group of sporangia is called as what? Soros or sori. Now friend, move to the next part. That is, as it is found, we know that the sporophylls means leaf-bearing sporangia are photosynthetics. It is a unique character. This is a unique character of all Pteridophyta, that the sporophylls are found photosynthetically, and it has been found that the development of sporangia takes place in two basic methods. One means from single cell. From single cell, the originates, we do find sporangia takes place, but that is called as leptosporangiate. But when we move on eusporangiate, in eusporangiate what happens? The normally mass of cells present, and from this mass of cell we do present the sori is present. A sori or sporangia is found. So it is called as eusporangiate. But from single cell it is, if developed, the sori is developed, it is called as leptosporangiate. But eusporangiate is an advanced character of all angiosperm or all higher plants. Got it? So eusporangiate means group of initials present, and these of group of initials gives rise to the sporophylls or sporangia. Spore mother cells, that is the 2n, is always present inside sporangia. So inside sporangia spores are produced. So the meiosis takes place normally inside sporangia. In pteridophyte, the germination of spore is very important. Exosporic means in pteridophyte what happens? Suppose this is sporangia. The sporangia releases the spores. Suppose this is the spore present, and the spore germinate on the soil or on the ground. So it is present. The germination of spore is outside the body, and it is called as so exosporic. So germination outside the body is called as what? Exosporic sporangia. In soil, the gametophyte is found. So germination of spore, that is N. Spore is N. So this germination spore gives rise to the plant, that is called as gametophyte plant of Pteridophyta. So normally the first germination gametophyte is not protonema. In bryophyte it is protonema, but here we do call them as prothallus. We do call them as what? The prothallus. And the formation of gametophyte takes place in soil, therefore it is independent. Normally the gametophyte is independent, sporophyte is also independent. As a result, we do find in Pteridophyta independent alternation of generation do takes place. That is, the thallus and the rhizoids are produced. The prothallus gives out. The thallus is the body of the gametophyte, and the roots present, that is primitive form, that is called as the rhizoids. And normally gametophytes are always in any plant. In the plant kingdom, gametophyte is always non-vascular. It is very important. Note that in plant kingdom, gametophyte is always non-vascular. Prothallus is always monoecious, means both male and female present in the prothallus. Very important. But in heterosporid pteridophyte, prothallus is diaspure. So monoecious is normally present if the prothallus germinates from homospore, and dioecious takes place if the spore germinates from heterospore. So normally microspore produces male gametophyte and megaspore produces female gametophyte. Then the formation of sex organ takes place inside the gamete. Normally, the gametophyte means the gametophyte plant will bear the sex organ that will produce the gamete. The male sex organ is called as antheridium, as you already know, and the female sex organ is called as archegonium. So male takes the place in antheridium, which are called as antherozoids, and the antherozoids are normally what? Motile. The antherozoids are normally what? Motile. So motile, and the antherozoids are normally multiflagellated, means the antherozoids present are of many flagellated. But when we move on to Selagilena, it is spindle shaped, means the antherozoid is spindle shaped in Selagilena. This is the Selagilena and spindle shaped and normally biflagellated. And when we move on to Lycopodium, that is comma shaped, it is comma shaped. And Lycopodium is comma shaped, and also it is what? Biflagellated. So egg is formed in archegonium. Normally egg is the female part that is formed in archegonium. So it has been found, this is the graph, that is Sporophyte generation. Sporophyte gives rise to sporophylls. Sporophylls produces sporangia. Sporangia do contain spore mother cells. All of them are of 2n, and meiosis takes place that do produce a spore that gives rise to gametophyte generation, which is called as prothallus. That is the male sex organ that is called as antheridium, and the female sex organ is called as archegonium. Then egg and archegonium undergo fertilization. Judaogamy means the sperm is motile. So due to the motile nature of the antherozoid, it is called as judaogamy. And again zygote produce, and zygote is the initial stage of sporophyte. So zygote gives rise to embryo and the cycle starts. So both of them are independent, they never depends on each other. So independent alternation of generation is found to be present in Pteridophyta. Now the fertilization judaogamy takes place, that is the takes place judaogamy means with the fertilized sperms are motile, and zygote develops into the embryo, and the embryo develops sporophytic plant having root, leaf and stem. The type of sexual reproduction oogamous means the female are non-motile and the males are motile, and diplohaploid first sporophytic generation takes place, then haploid. The unique character of life of pteridophyte is independent alternation of generation, because both are independent. They never depends on each other. And at last, it has been found that pteridophyte has been classified into four classes. Sorry, one is called as Psilopsida, is a fossil classes, Lycopsida, Spanopsida, and Pteropsida. This Felicinae or Pteropsida, it is called as Pteropsida, and it is this Felicinae or Pteropsida is regarded as the advanced pteridophytes. Okay, friend. In the next class, I'll discuss details about the classes. Thank you.